When a strange fish washed up on the beach, a lot of people were quickly on the scene to check it out. You don't see something like this every day, but people soon start to figure out that what they are dealing with is not normal. And when they realized what it actually was, everybody was screaming and fleeing the scene immediately. This definitely wasn't any ordinary fish. One of the world's greatest wonders is the oceans that cover it. The massive stretch of water is a marvel to most people, and it's believed that about 70% of the ocean is still unexplored. However, due to the pressure found deep in the ocean, it was widely believed that humans were aware of most of the creatures found in the ocean. But all that was about to change. One of the first people to spot the groundbreaking discovery was Miriam. Miriam had never expected her day to take the turn that it did. Standing in front of the creature, Miriam could not quite believe her own eyes. This was certainly not what she had imagined when she headed out. That morning had passed like most weekends. It was Sunday and Miriam liked to spend the day being lightly active. She woke up early and headed out with her dog, Benjamin, for her morning jog on the beach. This was a fun hobby for Miriam, as she was single and enjoyed the time with her four-legged best bud. She loved her morning drives to the beach. Benjamin liked to play with his head out the window, while Miriam listened to her favorite playlist. And when they arrived, the walks on the beach were a great opportunity for Miriam to clear her head and keep fit. Miriam woke up early to get to the beach before other locals. She expected solitude, but what she found was alarming. The drive to the beach was smooth, and both Miriam and Benjamin were excited to get on the sand and have a good run. However, once here, Miriam was caught off guard by the sight she found, a sight that would be stuck on her mind for weeks to come. There on the edge of the beach bank was a creature she had never seen before. Miriam stared in awe. It was huge. The large creature was motionless, but even from where she stood it was clear it had washed up from the ocean and failed to make its way back. What the hell was this creature? Miriam had never seen any fish like it and found herself struggling to face the reality. Meanwhile, on the other side of the animal, a small crowd had begun to form. Eager locals and early morning beachgoers stared at the unique creature in unison, but none dared to close the distance between them and the animal. Miriam found herself gripping onto Benjamin's reins with added force, determined to keep the dog from getting too close to the strange fish. A few minutes had passed, and the crowd had grown a little larger. Miriam found herself talking with other locals who were equally fascinated by the mysterious creature that had washed up on their beach. Miriam suggested they call the authorities, but was surprised to hear the police had already been called. However, the description of the creature had led them to believe it was a false statement. The entire ordeal had been a tiresome experience for the callers, who were constantly put on hold or had the call declined. Finally, after sending multiple shots of the creature to support their claim, the police declared they would send officers over to get a look at the situation, still believing that it was all an elaborate prank. By the time the police patrol car rolled into the scene, the beach site looked completely different. It became clear to the police officers that arrived that they were not the only ones who had received calls and pictures to visit the scene. There were multiple people standing around the creature. There were people exploring the state of the creature, poking the sides with large sticks while doing their best to stay out of contact range. There were others taking pictures and betting on how close they could get to the creature. Luckily, once the police arrived, the crowd was pushed to the side and ordered to stop interacting with the creature. One of the officers found himself positioned in front of a screen as he searched the web for any other strange sightings, careful to see if the creature was well known in a neighboring region. However, several minutes of searching turned up nothing. Where could the creature have come from? Searching the web was proving to be of no help. The department had a number of high-profile cases they were working on. The officer knew until he found more conclusive evidence he and his partner would have to solve the mystery on their own. He decided to call the local veterinarian that worked with the department. Like the officers, the vet found the claims and pictures of the creatures hard to believe. But it did not take him nearly as long to come around to the idea. He weighed his outcomes and decided that if the creature was truly an undiscovered species, the credit for discovery would go to him. With that in mind, he made his way to the beach in haste. Hours had gone by now, and the beach was more packed than it had ever been so early in the morning. The crowd of people had tripled, and everyone was doing their best to get a closer view and frame of the creature. It was clear the numbers would keep rising. Fearing a disaster backup was called in. By the time the veterinarian, Timothy, made it onto the scene of the incident, the crowd had nearly taken over the spot. Timothy found himself squeezing through the horde of eager viewers to get to the creature. Even as he walked, Timothy could feel his heart beating as he took in the size of the creature from his vantage in the crowd. His pace quickened as he walked through the tight horde of people, his mind speeding as he went through the list of large aquarian animals he knew or had studied. What could the creature be? A whale? A walrus? An orca? A megalodon? Could it be an animal they believed to be extinct? Finally, the force of the crowd shoved Timothy to the front of the pile-up, leaving him standing a few feet from the large animal. It was bigger up close, and now that Timothy had the chance to take in a better view, he realized something. He was drawing a blank, but this gave him more joy. Timothy smiled, his lips widening as he took in what this could mean for him. He knew that there was only one reason why he was drawing a complete blank. He had never come across the animal before, not in his research, online, in books, or in person. The creature in front of him was a whole new territory to him. Timothy walked slowly towards the creature. He slid on his thick gloves, leaning in slowly as he spread his hand across the animal. Timothy began to assess it, comparing the feeling of its skin and physical features against traits of other well-known large fishes. The toughness of the skin made Timothy question how long the creature had been dead for. Timothy stared at the creature with determination in his eyes. The next thing he had to do was verify his hypothesis, but he knew that to do that he would need to cut open the large fish. He understood that this was the only way he would be able to assess the time of death, and possibly get a better understanding of the creature in front of him.